to say anything? No. No. So I'll just start. Mm. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry. Boleh tak? Boleh. Yeah. Good morning to all. So yeah, welcome to the QS briefing. So today I'm going to talk about share with you, or not talk about, share with you some of the information about UMP in QS ratings and rankings. So thank you for those coming, and I understand that right now there is a live recording for those who are in Gambang campus and those who couldn't attend, that you can view the video later on. So my name is Chong. So I'm coming from the Corporate of Quality Affairs Center, PHKK. So today I will share with you regarding the UMP in our QS rating and ranking system. So there are so many people that keep on asking, so what is the importance of the ranking? Like why do we go into ranking and etc. and ranking or the rating? So the most biggest ranking that we join into internationally will be the QS. So I'll share with you what are those the importance of the ranking. If you look at this slide, actually it summarizes all the importance of the ranking, starting from the academics, your partners, scholarship providers, current students, employers, university leaders, government, alumni, and the last one, we put it the biggest one, we are prospective international students. So imagine that if you are coming from for those students coming from overseas, so what are those the first thing that they want to search for when they want to go into one university? So for your information, there are more than 30,000 universities in the world. So if they want to join into one IPTA, the university for their higher education studies, so what will be the first thing that they'll be looking for? I think they will be looking for they go online and search about what are those programs can be offered. And then the next one will be they are going to search for your university rankings. That will be the very straightforward. They want to know what is the position of your university in the world. And the other one will be the scholarship providers. So for those who got the scholarship and study abroad, I think you guys still remember during those days, or not, I think even right now, when you want to get a scholarship and study abroad, so one of the criteria is you must get top 100, or top 50 university that in the world, according to the QS ranking. So I think that clearly state that the importance of the ranking. So I summarize you what are those UMP standings overall. Because I think you guys keep on seeing the results coming out. Or suddenly our position is 700 something, and 751 to 800. And sometimes you look at the result, our result is 134. And sometimes look at the result, our result is there's some subject result. So actually for this slide, summarize all our UMP standings in QS. So overall, there are total of 8. The first one with the QS star rating. The QS star rating system actually is a rating system. It's not a ranking, it's a rating system. So for the rating system, we got 5 star, which is start effective from 2018. So we got 5 star in the QS star rating system. And then the next one, the bigger one, will be the QS World University Ranking. That is the world, the biggest under the QS. So for the QS World University Rankings, so actually we rank in 2020 version, we rank between the band of 751 to 800. For this one, if you fall below 500, above than 500, the ranking system, they rank it by band. But if you're able to jump beyond that 500, they will give you the numbers like you are the 400. They will be not giving the band. Then the next one will be this one. So this is under the World University Ranking as well, because we are considered as a less than 50 years old university. So right now, our position in the top 50, under 50, and actually ours one, if you look at some advertisement, ours one is the next 100. So our position in the top 50, under 50, the ranking, this one actually we rank between 101 to 150. That is for the university which is less than less than 50 years old. Then the next one will be the QS Asia ranking. QS Asia ranking, that is one of the regional ranking for the World University ranking. So for the Asia ranking, actually in Asia, we rank number 134. 134, which is the latest result, which came out in, I think in November, end of November. That is the latest result. So we rank in 134. In the QS as well, in the middle of the year, if you can see that, we got the next one is a QSGE ranking as well. QSGE ranking, actually we rank in the band of 301 to 500. 301 to 500. That is for the overall, for the whole world, QSGE ranking. And the last one will be the QS subject ranking. Subject ranking, we got 3 subjects got ranked in QS. The first one is the highest one with the chemical engineering, which ranked 251 to 300 in the 2019 version. The second one with the mechanical, aeronautic, and manufacturing subject, so which ranked between 301 to 350. And the last one is engineering technology. So this is ranked between 401 to 450. So for the result for the 2020 version is not yet out. So normally the result will be released in 2020. You can see that actually we achieved quite a very tremendous result for all these ratings or the ranking results. For your information, I will not claim the credit. I mean, I achieved all this. Actually, that is the effort of the previous team, which I need to give the credit to the previous team, which is led by Dr. Irene Ting. So I think she handled all this QS ranking and managed to bring up the team and bring UMP up to this level. So if we look at the QS star rating, so the QS star rating, they are 8 criteria over here. Actually, they give the star according to teaching, employability, internationalization, facilities, innovation, inclusiveness, research, and the subject. One of the subject is chemical engineering. So we got 5 stars in almost all of the criteria, except for the research, we got 4 stars, and the chemical engineering, we got 3 stars. So for the overall, for the 5 stars for this one, actually is valid from 2018 up to 2021. So that is a QS rating system. So means that right now we can claim ourselves as a 5-star university because we got a 5 star in the QS rating system. And we go on to the QS World University Ranking. QS World University Ranking for the latest one, 2020 results. Actually, we rank in 751 to 800. So 751 to 800, if you look at the only in local in Malaysia, so we got a position of 15. If you look at the whole Asia under this ranking system, actually we position ourselves in the number 52. If you look at all those analyses, so we rank ourselves in number 15. So with 751 to 800, the top one in Malaysia is and the top one in the world is MIT. And this will be the result for the top 50 under 50 and the next 100 under 50. For ours, actually, is the next 100 under 50. So because our band, we fall between set 101 to 150. So means that for us as a young university below than 50 years old, so we are able to position ourselves at a position of 101 to 150 in the world. So for each of the ranking that you see just now in the very first slide, so actually each of them has different criteria of the ranking indicator. So for your information, ranking is just like the racing. If you increase, this year increase by let's say 5%, you feel that is good. But actually for some other institution, actually your partners, they are running, they increase by 10%. So you'll get left behind. So your rank may not be increased, but we may get dropped as well. Doesn't mean that you increase in this indicator that you can get higher ranking. So it's a racing. If you run fast, doesn't mean that you will win the race. So you must run faster than the others. So that is the indicator for the World University Ranking. So for the World University Ranking, actually it's based on 6. So it's not a lot of criteria for the World University Ranking. The first one is academic reputation, employer reputation, which take up about 50%. Academic reputation is a voting system. For this reputation, the voting system. So every year at the beginning of the year, QS will send out survey to all those academicians and the employers from that database, and then they are going to ask for them to vote which university that they think that is good, the top 10, top 30 international university for them. So the academician and the employer, they are going to vote from there. So if you can see that the reputation or the voting take out about 50%, 40% is the academic reputation, and employer reputation is about 10%. So that is how academician and the employer feel about your university. The faculty-student ratio, 20%. Citation per faculty is 20%. International faculty is 5%. International students is 5% as well. So I think so some some of my friends or some colleagues, they came to ask me, so what does it mean by faculty student citation per faculty? Is it normalized per PDJ faculty? So the faculty meaning was the terms used over here actually means is a staff. It's the academic staff over here. The faculty is over. So it's academic staff per students, which take about 20%. Your citation per staff, 20%. International staff, 5%. And the international student, 5%. So all this one total up is 100% for this 6 indicator. If you can get the highest marks for all this, then you get number 1 in the world. Let us look at our UMP position. So as I mentioned before, UMP ranked in number 15. So which is in 2020 result, 751 to 800. That is our position. So these are all the marks that we obtained from all these different criteria: academic reputation, employer reputation, faculty, students, citation per faculty, international students. So if you look at all these, so what is the strength for the UMP? If you look at the marks over here, 11.2, that is not over 40%, that is over 100%. Over 100%, we only got 11.2 for academic. Employer, we got 11.7. Faculty, student, we got 18.7. Citation per faculty, we got 13.6. All of them less than 20%. And we got one very good or a promising result is 44.8 marks, which is international faculty. So means that our international staff ratio is very good. We position ourselves in the very good position for the international faculty. We have quite a number of international staff. And the last one also less than 20 marks, which is the international student, only 10.9%. So what I want to highlight over here is, you look at the UITM. I'm doing the comparison. The UITM, which position themselves higher than us. Last year, they placed themselves in 751 to 800. Last year, we don't have any result because 2020 is the first time that we get into university, the QS World University Ranking. So for UITM, for this year, they get, two-step advance, which in the band of 651 to 700 for the UITM. That will be the marks. If you look at all those criteria, all this is dashed line. Dashed line means that their marks is too low to be shown. UITM, the marks for the faculty, students, citation, international faculty, international students is very low. Even is insignificant to be shown. Means it's definitely lower than us. But they are able to position themselves higher than us. Why? You look at this percentage, the academic reputation and employer reputation. Their academic reputation, they got 21 marks. As compared, and the other one, employer reputation, they got 38 marks. So if you look at these two, which is higher than us, if you still remember for the previous slide, academic reputation and the employer reputation, they got total up is 50%. 50%. So for the UITM, they focus on this academic reputation and the employer reputation. They get a very high, very good vote from the academician and from the employer. So that's why they are able to position themselves higher than us, even though that their faculty-student ratio is lower than us, their citation is lower than us, their international faculty numbers lower than us, and international students also lower than us. No. So for all this, never mind. But as long as they are able to get a good vote from the employer and the academician, they are able to rank higher. And the other one is a UCSI. UCSI is a private college, is a private university in Malaysia. So last year they ranked 2019 they ranked 481, and 2020 they ranked 442. So if you look at, compare all those indicators, if you can see that, let's say we compare the citation per faculty, they only got 3.6, which means that their research is not highly cited by others. As compared to us, we got very high marks, 13.6. And if we look at some others, like this one, the employer reputation for the UCSI, they got 35.1, which is about 3 times higher than us. So means that a lot of people, the employer, they vote for UCSI. That's why they can rank higher. And the other one is the international students. UCSI, they focus very much on the international student. They are able to get the very high marks for the international student, which is 81.1 marks. So for this, what I want to bring out the story is, actually for each university, they depends on which are the focus area that they want to push on for the criteria. And the most important criteria, actually, if you look at the case for the UITM, is the reputation, the voting system. If they are able to get a lot of people which recognize them, academician or the local or the employer that recognize them, they vote for them, so their position will get high, just like for the UITM. So now we move on to another ranking system, which is a QS Asia. That's a regional ranking, only for the Asia. Okay, so for information, we joined into QS Asia, which is started in 2015. 2016, we got result, 17, 2018. And the most promising result, which shown a very quantum leap, I would say the quantum leap will be in the 2019. So which UMP achieved a 188 position, top 200. So we rank ourselves the first in MTUN and the 13 in Malaysia. And in 2020 results, so we rank ourselves in the first in MTUN as well, and 11 in Malaysia, and our position increased to 134 position. That is for the QS World University Ranking for the Asia. So if you look at the MTUN, we have 4 MTUNs here. So we are still the leading university in MTUN. So we rank ourselves number 1 in Malaysia. In Malaysia, total there are 29 universities got ranked. And in the whole Asia, there are total about 557 universities got ranked. And we position ourselves in 134. So these are some analysis. So right now, UMP is among the top 24% university in Asia. So we can consider ourselves is a Q1. It's a Q1 university if for those who publish paper. So 24% is considered Q1 already. So UMP right now is a Q1 university. So these are the ranking indicator. So if you still remember, for the World University Ranking, there are 6 indicators. But for the Asia Ranking, total there are 11 indicators, which is much more complex. So the first one is the academic reputation, take up 30%. Employer reputation, 20%. Again, if you still remember for the World Ranking, so academic and the employer took up 50%. Here, same as well for the QS Asia Ranking. 30, but this one slightly changed. For the academic reputation, they got 30% for the academic reputation and 20% for the employer reputation. Faculty student, 10%. Staff with PhD, 5%. Citation per paper, 10%. Papers per faculty, 5%. International Research Network, 10%. International faculty, 2.5%. International students, 2.5%. Inbound and exchange, inbound and outbound, 2.5 and 2.5%. I'm going to explain some of the indicator over here. Academic and employer I explained earlier. Faculty-student ratio, which I explained earlier as well. Staff with PhD is clear-cut. So how many % of your staff possess the PhD qualification? Citation per paper, for each of your paper, so how many citation that you get? They will do the average. So this one will give you 10%. Papers per faculty. So faculty means the staff. How many papers per staff? Take up 5%. International Research Network give you 10%. So how to give this International Research Network? This one, they extract the data from Scopus. For this this result, this indicator, and this indicator, they got the result from Scopus database. For the International Research Network, they got the result from the Scopus database. They will compare among your co-authorship, how many of them actually coming from the international network. Let's say you publish a paper, how many of them actually in the author list, how many of them actually is coming from the international collaborator. You got the marks if your co-author consists of those coming from outside Malaysia. International faculty, international staff, I explained earlier. International students, inbound and outbound. Inbound and outbound, this one refer to the international. It's an international inbound and international outbound. So all this will give you the 2.5 and 2.5. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, our team did the analysis on our score. So we compare for the few years, starting from 2018 up to 2020, the latest result. So you can see that for all, these are all the indicator. All the indicator actually is, we are showing the increment in almost everything. Academic reputation, employer reputation, more and more people vote for us. The academician or either is employer, they vote for us, means that they recognize UMP. Staff with PhD, we get more and more PhD staff with PhD. Citation per paper per faculty, we got increment as well. International Research Network, we got increment. So means that more and more papers actually coming from we work with the international collaborator. International faculty, international student, inbound and outbound, we got increment as well. More and more the international exchange activities. But if you look at the only one that we got dropped is a faculty students. Faculty students, which take about 10%, we drop in the percentage, the marks, the score, we got dropped in 1.9%. In 2018, we got 26.6. In 2019, we got 25.6, and the latest result, we only got 25.1. So some of you might ask, is it showing that our faculty students getting worse and worse? Means that the numbers getting lesser and lesser? No, it doesn't mean that. Because as I mentioned earlier, this is the racing. Ranking is the racing. If we look at the raw data submission, the data submission for the faculty student for this year is compared to last year. Last year for the ratio, we got 6.6. So 6.6 means that for every 100 students, actually is being served by 6.6 staff. That is our numbers. That is how they calculate faculty student. That is how like you all calculate when you submit to the MQA. For every 100 students, we got about 6.6 staff serving them. But in the latest result, actually we got increment. For every 100 students, we got 6.9 staff serving them. If you look at the raw data, actually we got increment from 6.6 to 6.9 for the faculty students. But we still get the lower percentage, the lower points in this criteria. The reason is, even though we got increment of 0.3%, it's 0.3 ratio, but some other university in the world or in Asia, actually their increment is faster than us. That's why we are being led behind for this criteria. We got dropped. As I mentioned, it's a racing. We increase, but they increase more. So that's why we got a drop in the percentage. So we compare the in Malaysia and in Asia, starting from 2013. So actually we go into QS in 2013, QS Asia, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, and 20. So if you can see that in latest result, 2020 result, this is the position in for each of the indicator, where is our ranking. So what I would like to highlight over here is our international faculty. So as I highlight during the World University Ranking, so our international faculty number is very promising. We got a very high marks in the international faculty for the World University Ranking. Same goes to the Asia ranking. For the Asia ranking, we rank ourselves in number 8 in Malaysia for this indicator alone, international faculty. And we rank ourselves in number 41. So that is our strength. International faculty is UMP strength. that is highlighted by QS as well, because we rank number 41 in Asia. Where it is ranked number 41 in Asia. We rank number 41 in Asia. In Malaysia, we rank number 8 as compared to the rest of the indicator. Because for the rest of the indicator, we rank roughly corresponds to our position. Academic, employer, we rank, because we got the overall position as 134, and then the rest of the position roughly corresponds to our position of 134. But for the international faculty, we got 41, rank 41. So which means that our ratio for the international staff is very good. Then we do the benchmarking analysis as well, which has been done by my team. So ourselves, over here, UMP, that's the total marks. We got 37.4. AR, ER, FSR, PhD, citation, paper, IRN, international faculty, international student, exchange, inbound, outbound. So these are all the 11 indicators. And these are the score that we got. The green color is the highest score in Malaysia for each of the indicator. Let's say example for the academic response, which means that how many of the academicians they vote for UMP. For this ranking, you can see the green color is a UM. So definitely, because I mean, generally speaking, when overseas academicians they think of Malaysia, the first thing they think, oh, UM. So they will put UM. That's a brand. That's a brand that UM has established over the years. So that's why they get the highest vote in the AR and the ER as well. And some of the lowest, like Uni KL, Uni Map, they got the lowest rank, in the AR and ER. And this list down, you can see that all those 4 or 5 RUs, they got quite a good position as well, especially for UM. UM got almost a top rank for all of the indicator. So if you look at UMP, these are the score that we got. Just now, as I highlighted, our international faculty is in a very good position. If you look at this one, international faculty, we got score of 90.4 marks, which is very high. The full mark is 100%. Then we did some analysis as well. Again, we compare with UITM. If you look at UITM rank, we rank number 134 in Asia. UITM rank number 119. So does it mean that UITM get a lot of indicator, all these marks actually is higher than us? It doesn't mean that. If you look at all those indicators, UITM even got 2 lowest. For the international faculty, they only got 7.3 marks. And the international student, they got 4.7, which is the lowest among in Malaysia. But they are still able to rank ahead of us, which is 119. That the key point will be the reputation. You can look at the reputation over here. They got 39.8 score, which is about double as compared to us. And then for the employer reputation, they got 70, which is about 3 times higher than us. Means that a lot of academicians, actually, they vote for UITM, and then they got a lot of vote from the employer as well, which makes the UITM can be ahead of us. And the UUM, they rank in 116, which is ahead of UMP as well. If you look at the indicator, for UMP, we never get a single indicator rate in color. Means that our results still in the middle range. But UUM, they even got the red color as well, same like the UITM. Their citation per paper, actually they only got 7.4%. So which is a red color, the lowest in Malaysia. Means that their paper is not being heavily cited. So 7.4% as compared to us 41.9. But if you look at the UUM, their employer reputation, they got a very high marks, 40.7, which is about double from us. And then you look at this for the international student and the international exchange inbound. They got almost close to 100% for the UUM. And because of this, they got a very high marks in this indicator, which makes them to be in higher position as compared to us. So what I'm trying to bring out over here is you can see that the academic reputation and the employer reputation plays a very important role in the world or in the Asia ranking. If you look at the result, in Asia, we do the analysis, we put the Y and the X axis, employer reputation and academic reputation. So every single dot over here represents one university. So these are all the university in Asia. So where is your position for their score in academic reputation and employer reputation? Of course, rank number one. Number one rank in the Asia is NUS for the latest one, National University Singapore. So they got number one. Their academic reputation, employer reputation, they got full marks, 100%. And if we look at UM got a very high marks as well. They got roughly about 90 and 90 for the academic and the employer reputation. So where are we? UMP is over here. So we got about 20 plus and 20 plus for AR and ER. And UNIMAP is over here, which is in this region as well. If you compare in Malaysia alone, because this one scattered for the whole Asia university. If you compare in Malaysia alone, so these are all the university in Malaysia. So UM is positioned over here, and UMP is over here, and UNIM is over here. So what we try to strive actually is we try to get, if you are able to push, if not you, not we are able to push our academic reputation, employer reputation towards to this end. So we want to get more votes from the academician and from the employer as well. Later I will share with you some of the strategy. So this is the analysis on the papers. So the papers, and they got the result from Scopus. So we don't need to do any submission data. So all the result QS will capture it from the Scopus database. So they put it into 5 categories in QS: arts and humanities, engineering and technology, life sciences and medicine, natural sciences, social sciences and management. I understand that today that who is going to view the video will be those coming from the film, Pusat Bahasa Modern, and the last one is Pusat Science Kemanusiaan. Pusat Science Kemanusiaan. I think this will be the part that related to your arts and humanities, which is in the yellow color over here, social sciences and management. So for the arts and humanities, the increments will be too low, so that's why it's not being shown over here. For the social sciences and management, which is related to these 3 faculties, so we got, for the papers, actually they get it for every 5 years. It's a cumulative result. So they get from every 5 years, from 2013 to 2017. They try to get the latest one, because sometimes when the paper you get published, let's right now get a paper published, it will only get published in 2020 version. So that's why QS, they tend to get the result which is backdated. So for the 2020 result, actually they get the paper in 2013 up to 2017. So if you can see all these criteria, we got increment at least by 30% for almost all the criteria, all the subject, all these broad subject. Let's say for the social science and management, so we have 330 papers which are being published between this period. So that's an increment of about 38.7%. Then the citation per paper. So for the citation per paper, for all these 5 broad subjects, we got increment as well. Same goes to the social science. The social science, the increment is 48.3%, which is very high, close to 50%. The next one is a QSGE. QSGE is quite new as well. So we got into QSGE in this year, new to us. So we got into QSGE only in this year. So middle of the year, we got ranked in QSGE. We submit the data, not we, the previous QS team. Okay, the previous QS team, they submit the data, and then they got a very good result as well. So there are total 5 indicators over here: the employer reputation, alumni outcomes, employer-student connections, partnership with employers, GE rate. If you can all look at all these indicators, we got a very high marks in the GE rate. So I think you all know that we got every year for 2 consecutive years, 2 or 3 consecutive, we got a very high GE percentage, about 95, 96, or 97. So which makes our GE rate to be very high, our percentage. And the employer-student connection, which means that how many employers are having their event in UMP. So this one, we got a very high rank as well, we rank ourselves 15, and we rank ourselves number 71. That is in the world. Means that our GE rate is ranked number 15 in the world. Number 15 in the world. And for the GE, actually, we rank ourselves between 301 to 500. And in Malaysia, only 9 universities got ranked in QS GE. So we rank ourselves in number 7. So this will be some analysis that we have done. So overall that UMP, so we got a very high score in the GE rate. We got almost 100% for our GE rate because our GE rate has been so high. And in whole Malaysia, we got rank number 2. But in Asia, we got rank number, remember we got rank ourselves in number 15. So in Malaysia, we only one position lower than Utah for the GE rate. GE rate Utah got 99.7%. Then the next one will be the QS subject ranking. Anyone can help? Okay, sorry. So QS subject ranking. QS subject ranking, the result will be out, the latest result, 2020 result will be out in February. In February. So for the moment, 2019 result, we got 3 subject rank. So in QS, actually, there are 5 broad subject and 48 narrow subject. 48 the subject. So UMP in 2018, we got score in 16 subject, only rank in 1 broad subject and rank in 1 subject. But in 2019, we got score in 18 subjects, rank in 1 broad subject and rank in 2 subjects. This is a broad subject. Engineering technology is a broad subject. These 5, they are the broad subject. Engineering and technology. And then the subject, chemical engineering and the mechanical, aeronautic and manufacturing, they are the subject under the engineering technology. Under each of these broad subjects, there are so many subjects. These 2 subjects actually is under engineering and technology. So these are some of the marks. Some of the marks that actually we got for the subject ranking. For the subject ranking, the indicator is slightly different from the world and the Asia. They only look at 4: academic, employer, which is the indicator, the survey, citation, how many citation you got from all these subjects, and the H index. The H index is the number of citation per number of papers. So the H index over here, if you look at all these, actually, we never list out the percentage over here because each of the subject over here, they are having different percentage, different weightage for each of the, because you cannot compare. If I compare for the example like the history, history is something that is very hard to publish maybe, or compared to the modern language. Those social science, it's quite difficult to publish relatively as compared to the engineering and technology. Example like the material science. Material science relatively is easier to get published as compared to the arts and humanities. So that's why there will be a slightly change in the percentage across the subject. So these are all the score that we got in all the subject that we listed in QS. If we look at the engineering and technology, these are all the score that we get. This is over 100%. For the academic and the employer reputation, we got 61.1, 59.6, 74.3, and 70.3. Overall score, we got 64. So which put ourselves in 401 to 450. Our domestic rank, which is in Malaysia, we rank number 9. Chemical engineering, so this is our score. We got a very high score in the citation and the H index, and same goes to the survey. That's why we are able to push the chemical engineering to the 251 to 300. And mechanical, aeronautic, and manufacturing position at the 301 to 350. Let us look at, I think for those coming from the Pusat Bahasa Modern, I think this will be something that interesting to you. Linguistic and the modern language. So linguistic and the modern language. So these 2 subjects, actually we got the score already. We have the score. You want to get the score in QS, you need to publish certain number of papers. You need to overcome the publication threshold numbers. So for the linguistic and the modern language, actually, you guys have already passed the publication threshold. You achieve enough number of papers. Just that in this case, the citation and the H index is too low over here, the modern language. And same goes to the, no, this one is okay. The citation H index is high enough, 44 and 39. Just that this one, the lowest point will be the 14.4, which is the academic survey for the linguistic and the modern language. So what I could advise, if the Pusat Bahasa Modern, if you wish to like push up the modern language and the linguistic to be your subject ranking, so what you need to do actually is you need to get more votes, more people to vote for you, which they are coming from the linguistic area. They are coming from the linguistic area. So if they vote for you, you get the high marks over here. So you have the high possibility that you'll get ranked. You'll get ranked for the coming years. Not 2020. 20 is already the result, already compiled. So means 2021. For the modern language, you already get quite a numbers of the voting. So what you need to do is publish more papers so that you can get high citation and the H index. If we look at the other one, which the related one will be the business and management studies. Business and management study, which is related to film. So for the business and management studies, you can see that citation and H index. This two is related to the publication. You got a very high score already. Just that what you need to achieve is to get more people to vote for you. So if more people vote for you, you get high score. So you have the high possibility that you'll get ranked for the coming year cycle. And any other subject which is related to you guys? Education. Okay, education. So education, you can see that, which is very good. So you can see that education, your employer reputation 61.3 marks. So means that a lot of employer, they vote for you. This one maybe they coming from the education background. The one who vote for you coming from education background. Maybe they're academician or they are teacher. So they vote for you, you get a very high score over here, employer. Right now, what you need is you need more academician. You need more academician to vote, those working in the university to vote for you. And your publication result also quite high, which is close to 50 score. If you are able to get more and more academician from the university vote for you, so maybe you are able to get ranked for the coming cycle. Any other subject? Yeah, these are those art and humanities, and the next one is social science and management, which is related to these three faculties. So these are the indicator, the weightage that I mentioned to you earlier. We cannot compare, put it the same across the board. So if you see that engineering and technology, they put 40% for the academic reputation, 30 for the employer reputation, 15 is a citation per paper. H index is 15%. So they put a heavy weightage on the survey. Arts and humanities. Let us look at the arts and humanities, just now the language. If you look at the language, okay. So just now you can see that there's no marks over at the citation H index. Okay, yeah. The reason is because there's no any indicator being given. In order to achieve the ranking in the language, so you only need to achieve 70% for the reputation and the 30% for the employer reputation. What you need to do is you need to take good care of your vote. So if you get a lot of people vote for you under this language and the linguistic, you need to publish the papers, 5% and 5%. But there's a heavy weightage on the survey as well. If you are able to attract more votes, which coming from this background to vote for you, so you are having very high possibility to get ranked. Yes. This weightage. Yeah, this weightage is not given by me. It's given by QS. They designed the weightage. They designed the weightage because they want to put the fair across the board. You can see that. Life science. Life science, they put a very low, they only go up to 50% for the survey. But the rest, they took 25 and 25%. For your information, for the life science paper, they get a very high citation. If you are able to publish in the very pure medicine journal, you can get a very high citation. That's why they put a very heavy weightage on the citation and the H index. But they cannot put the same weightage over to the linguistic and the language. Because if you publish a paper, maybe the citation that you receive is not as many as those published in medicine. So that's why they put different weightage across all the subjects. This is the natural science, the social sciences and management. Just now, as I mentioned, the business. The business, 50% is the academic reputation, 30% employer reputation, another 10 and 10% is the citation and the H index. So this make up to 100%. So what you need to achieve more actually is you need to get more votes for the business. If you want to get your subject rank, you need to get more votes, which they are coming from the business background, academician coming from business background. They log into the QS survey, and then they vote for you, so you are able to get the score over here. Just now, there's another one, education. So education, total up for the survey is only 60%. You need to publish a paper. Publish paper and achieve the citation and achieve the H index, which take up to 40%. Yes. The vote, okay. I will explain later on after all this. So I want to let you all to understand about this, how does the QS subject work and how does all this work. And after that, we'll go into the, as what Puan Zarina told me, I'm going to share with you what are those, what can you contribute, how can you contribute. So I repeat again, these are all the standing, UMP standing. We got 5-star in QS rating. We got rank in world, 751, 800. And the top under 50 years old, we rank 101 to 150. In Asia, we rank 134. We got 3 subject rank in QS subject ranking. Our G is 301 to 500. So these are all our brands. Okay, I think this one go to your questions now, PM. So how can you contribute in terms of to getting the vote? The first one is you need to submit 400 academic response and employer response list. So every year, our team QS will ask us to submit. We'll submit the 400 lists. 400 lists to be deposited into their database. So QS are having more than about 100,000 of the data, the list, which every year they will randomly send out the questionnaire to them and ask them to vote. So for the 400 academic response and employer response, each 400 for the, we call it AR, and 400 for the ER. And then we kind of divide equally. So each PDJ submit 40 names to us. So how can you pick up this academic response? What are those names that you need to submit? So the possible for the list will be the collaborators. Try to submit your collaborators. Because in this case, you couldn't, the voting system work like this. There are 2 types of system. The first one is we submit the list to QS. QS will send out randomly to them. The second part is they register voluntarily. So means that they go into QS website and then they register themselves. Let's say for me, I go into QS, I register myself as a survey. I want to fill up this survey. So if I want to fill out this survey, I register myself in the database already. So during the voting season, which is in the February to March, QS might send the survey to me. And then during the time, I will fill up. I can fill up which university that I want to vote for. So what are those possible AR lists that you need to submit is your close collaborators. So which means that because for those working your collaborator, definitely they recognize you and recognize UMP as well. So definitely if they receive the survey, automatically they will key in UMP name over there. Okay? So your close collaborator. The second is alumni. Alumni whom they are working right now currently as an academician. I believe that your especially the postgraduate students who has graduated and returned back to their home country, I'm talking about international, return back to their home country and then they become the lecturer because they got a PhD and then right now they are the lecturer. So we should put their name as our AR list because when we put their name, so for sure they recognize you as a supervisor as well. Recognize you as a supervisor and then they recognize UMP as a place for them who award them the PhD degree. So we put their name automatically when they got the survey, so they will vote for us. Your ex-supervisor, so I believe that quite a number of academic staff in UMP, they got their PhD degree overseas. So you may put up your ex-supervisor name, the name list over here. I believe that when they receive, your ex-supervisor receive the QS survey, so automatically they will think of you. Oh, this guy or this lady graduated from my group, so they are coming from the UMP. So they will vote during that time. Your co-author, that's the most important. I kind of do the survey through the Scopus. I think roughly for every 5 papers, every 4 or 5 papers, we got 1 paper which is consists of international collaborators. So try to put up your international collaborators in the co-author. Your co-author coming from international, right? You put their name into this 40 AR list. Definitely when they receive the survey, they will think of you because you guys have published together already. So these are the possible lists of the AR that you could put. Or of course, if you have some close contact, let's say your best friend in Australia or in China or in India, so actually they are very close to you. So you may put up their name as well. You may put up their name. And the AR voting weightage, the local versus the international, 15 to 85 weightage. So what I'm trying to show over here actually is the international vote weightage is much more higher. It's about 6 times higher for every 1 vote for the local. That's why I asked the QS facultative, Puan Zarina, to encourage you guys to put the name of the international academician for the AR. For the AR list, put the international academician if possible. If you really can't get any international for the faculty, you can't get any international collaborator in the list, so you can put a local. But of course, the weightage will be much more lower. 1 vote for the international is equal to 9 votes for the local. You put up 1 is equal to 9. So why don't we utilize this 400 list? Optimize it. We optimize it. We put all international collaborators, international lists. So which means that we get a very heavy weightage on this one. Your ER, employer response, industry contacts. Try to get from your industry contact. You put up their name. Of course, you work with them. Definitely they recognize you. Your alumni, your ex-students, ex-undergraduate students, you put up their name. Definitely they will vote for you as well. So the voting weightage for the ER actually is 1-to-1. It doesn't matter. If you put a local or the international company, it doesn't matter. The voting weightage is 1-to-1. So you can, for this part, you can put local or international contacts for the employer. Employer doesn't mean that really you need to put up the name for those who are those employed, the boss, the owner of the company. As long as they are the employee for the companies, you can put up their name over here. Let's say for fees per se, so we put up a lot of alumni. Our alumni who are working outside. So we put up their name. It's considered as an employer as well. It's considered under employer under the OD of QS. So how the faculty can contribute is you need to recruit more international students. If you recruit more international students, if you look back for the criteria for the QS Asia, International students, undergrad and the postgrad, all this will give you marks as well. You recruit more international students for the undergrad or the postgrad, you get the high marks. Alumni high tea session, what you can do is try to have more engagement with your alumni so that they still remember you. So when they receive the voting, receive the survey, they will vote for you. So for your information, we have been working closely with the faculty. If any of the faculty that you want to organize, if you are organizing a high tea session with your alumni, fees organized last month, our team joined in. So we only ask for about a slot about 15 to 20 minutes. We are going to brief your alumni about what they need to do for this QS, how they can support UMP, how they can support UMP. The promotional material, once we get all these lists, our team will send out the promotional material UMPH to all these contacts so that to keep them refreshed in their mind the UMP name. So, as I mentioned earlier, you have those close contacts, AR and the ER. There are two types of the voting system. The first one is you put up list over here. A second is you ask them to go to register themselves and ask them to vote. But be careful with all your voting because QS does not allow us to, to provide the guided advice. The guided advice to all these AR and AR lists. You cannot tell them whom to vote. Okay, but if you ask them to register, definitely that they are close to you. I believe that they automatically they will vote for you. The long-term strategy, which I think Puan Zarina asked me to show up, what are those long-term strategy faculty can do? You need to establish a strong international network. You will have the strong international network with other institutions. So I believe that in this case, you can get a lot of votes from the overseas. You can get a very high marks. Establish a strong alumni network. You can get a very strong ER list. You need to build up your own brand for faculty or the center. You bring out your own brand. So example like Just now you can see that get top in the AR and the ER. When people want to vote for the university in Malaysia, the first thing that pop up in their mind is Yeah, that's automatically. Like example, like you want to name for the best university in US, definitely there are a few that pop in your mind. MIT, UC Berkeley, right? All these will be the very top name that pop up in your mind. These are the brand that they have built up over the years. But we cannot compete with them because MIT, all these, they have MIT, I think over 200 years of history. So we are only about not as much as them. So that's why what we need to do is slowly you build out your own brand. So whenever people think of Malaysia, they're able to think of UMP. If they are able to think of your faculty or the center, is even better. So in that case, when they vote, the vote will go into your faculty, your subject ranking. Recruit more international students, as I mentioned earlier. You need to have more internationalization in the faculty. That is for the long term. Your publication in the subject-related journal. So you need to publish in the subject-related journal. For this one, for those you want to focus on the subject ranking. Example like for me, I'm the material scientist. If I write a paper, even though the title, the content itself is a material science, if I choose a journal which belongs to the management or belongs to the bio, even though it can get published over there, but the impact will not be that high because nobody is going to go and read. The bio people, when they read the material paper in the bio journal, they are not going to cite it. And the next one is the papers will not be counted as the material science, will be counted as a biology. It's scattered already. Let's say you want to you want to boost for your education. The education, make sure that your staff publish the paper in the education-related journal. If your staff publish in some other journal, which is other than education-related, UMP will get the marks as well in the overall, general. But when you go down to the subject, all these marks get scattered. So you couldn't get a very good score. And definitely the last one is published in a high impact journal. For some subject, if you publish in the the language is because there's no publication list over there. So publication in a high impact journal, you publish more, you get high citation. All this actually eventually will contribute back to the indicator. Remember just now, the world ranking, there's a citation, and the Asia ranking also there's a citation. So what we try to get is for the voting, we want to push UMP from here. That's how, as I say, we only get about 20 plus marks for the AR and the ER. If we are able to get high enough over here, that will be good. So how to boost up? How to boost up for the academic reputation and employer reputation? So starting from last month, November 19, actually the QS system is already open. You can go in and sign up. Sign up yourself as a respondent. Sign up yourself as a respondent. The sign up as a respondent service actually it lasts until March. It doesn't open throughout the whole year, but it only opens on a certain period. On November, it started already. You can sign up as a respondent up to March. And in February 2020 and the March 2020, so that's the season or the time that QS will send out. If you register as a respondent, QS will send out a survey email. We'll send a survey email to all those respondents randomly. Doesn't mean that if you sign up automatically that you will get. But the best is this is a time that try to ask your contact to sign up. It's not wrong if you ask your contact to sign up. But you cannot explicitly tell to your contact that please sign up and vote for UMP. That is against the QS rule. So what you need to do is you need to tell your contacts, your employer or your academician friend to sign up as a respondent. To sign up as a respondent. For sure, they know you very well. If they sign up as a respondent, definitely when they receive the survey, they will vote for you. And try to remind them during the February and the March. Remind them, hey, have you received the email from the QS regarding the survey? If yes, please fill up. That's it. So please do not ask them unless you are really, really very, very, very close to all those contacts. Because if you tell them explicitly, they will go and they can go and report to the QS. So in that case, that QS will come and investigate. Because we cannot provide any guidance to the all these respondents for them how to fill up the survey. So for actually over here is every vote counts. If you look at all those rankings just now, the world, the Asia, the GE, even though the subject, all those you can see that every time the indicator will pop up the survey, the response, academic response, employer response. Every time when they vote one time, actually all these vote will go into your world, go into the Asia, and go into the GE, and last one go into the subject. So means that your respondents do not need to keep on fill up the survey. They only fill up once, and then all these vote actually will go into all this, the ranking that we join into. So for those who has handphone, you may try to snap this QR code, and this actually will lead you to the, how many of you has signed up as a respondent for QS? Only one. You may try to take up your, okay, of course for my team. You may try to take out your handphone and scan, I believe everyone of you got a QR code, right? Okay, QR code scanner. Try to scan this one and it will link you up to the registration page. So once you scan already, it will land you to this page. They will ask you, either you are the academician or you are the employer. It's okay, you can just sign up. Why I want you to sign up is because I want all the, at least academic staff, you have some feeling of how does the voting system go. Then only if you know how does the voting system work, what are the things that you need to fill up over there, then only you can advise your contact how to fill up. You can advise your contact to fill up. Otherwise, you have no idea about this one. How are you going to ask your contact to fill up? So you can fill up as an academician. When you fill this one up, then you are required to put up some information over here. That's it. It's a very simple. It's a very simple registration. Once you register already, so your contacts will get captured in the QS database. In this case, you only achieve for this part. You sign yourself up as a respondent only. Doesn't mean that UMP got the vote already. Even though you sign up, you receive a survey, but you couldn't vote for UMP because it's very fair. It's a very fair voting system. You couldn't vote for UMP because you are coming from UMP, but you can vote for some other university. So I hope that everyone sign up, including those looking at the video. So after that, then during the February or the March, you are going to receive a questionnaire. Actually, the questionnaire consists of about five sections if they do not change. The first part is a personal information. You are going to put up your personal information. You need to put up your university name as well. The list over here, actually, we refer to the industry because we use this slide to ask the industry to sign up. The knowledge specification, from which subject area that you're specialized in. Then you need to fill up the top domestic university and top international university. So that is the most critical part. Let's say you're coming from Malaysia. For me, I register myself as a respondent. I receive a survey. I put up my information as a UMP. So when I want to vote for the top domestic university, I couldn't see UMP list over there. I couldn't vote for UMP. They will prohibit you from voting for the same institution. So you can vote up to 10 domestic institutions. If you feel that UM is good, you can put the UM in, USM, UKM, or some other university. And then you can vote up to 30 international institutions, 30 for the world. So means that if you ask your friend, your close contact to vote, you ask them to go into this one. Maybe they will say that, oh no, my favorite is only MIT. Every time I only want to vote for MIT or NUS. I don't want to vote for some other. No, because they can vote up to 30 international institutions. 30 international institutions. The last part is additional information. So this will be the sample of the questionnaire. So when they want to put up the questionnaire they are going to receive, you need to fill up when you want to vote for international university. Please put up for the all region. Then only you. Sometimes if you put the Asia, right, the UMP name doesn't appear. You put the all region, you can put up the UMP 10 domestic and 30 international. So all this actually is from the drop-down list. When you type it, you type the keyword, then your university name will come up over here. When you, let's say the first one you vote for the domestic, you vote for UM, University Malaya. UM appear already, you enter, and then you can still vote for some others, USM, UTM, or UKM. You can still vote. You can vote up to 10 over here, and can you vote up to 30 over here. So that's the last one, the last chance for you to snap this one and register as well, including those looking at the video. That's the end of my sharing. So any question? Yes. Mm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is because we, frankly speaking, we couldn't compete with them in terms of perception, because like what I mentioned, when people mention about university in Malaysia, the first thing that pop up in their mind is UM or USM. That will be the thing that they pop up in their mind. So what can we do is right now, actually that's why I just now in the slide, I asked you guys to try to communicate with your close contacts, because for me, I think it doesn't, it cannot belongs to our team only effort, because our contacts, we have limited contacts, and the perception right now, our brand, the brand that we build up is not up to the, because they have long history. So that's why like when people talk about UC in Malaysia, they think about UM. But for us, frankly speaking, it doesn't reach that stage yet. So what we want to do is right now we need to like gather all the we have total roughly about 800 or close to 900 academic staff. Imagine if each academic staff, they have 3 or 5 international contacts. I think that's not very difficult. 3 to 5 international contacts. These contacts, of course, these contacts feel that they are good. That's why they are working with them. So these are the perception that planted in their mind, your collaborators' mind. So when they come to when they received all these survey, if they fill up, then we got the score. But of course, if they feel that you are good and they never fill up the survey, it only go into perception. It doesn't help in our ranking. It's good as well, but have not achieved to the better stage. What we want is they feel that we are good. If they can step one step beyond, they go into the survey and then they vote for us. Because if they feel that we are good, it's good, but it doesn't reach the stage of better. What we want is, you feel that we are good, why don't you go into the survey and then you feel we are good, and then you fill up our name over there so that we can get really some credit of it. You mean the context or the context? Our connection. Okay. There are 2 ways of how we can do it. The first one is like one that I share with you all. I mean the template. Let's say you have 10 contacts. 10 contacts. You fill up the contacts into the template that our team sent to you. You fill up their name list, their contacts over there. And then from our team, I will send out this to the QS. And then from time to time, we will send out the promotional material. We will send out our latest news. Let's say, what are those achievements that UMP achieved? And then we send out to their email. That is to refresh their mind. Of course, your close contact will not be alien to UMP. They know UMP name. So that will be the first one. If you do not fill up, because I mean, maybe the 40 names already filled up. So some of the name that you never put it in the 40 AR, the ER list, what you can do is you can ask them personally. Ask them to register in this website, in this link. You ask them to register. So for sure, if you feel that you are good, they register, automatically they will get the survey. When they get the survey, I believe that they will vote for you. That is the most straightforward way. Because if they feel that you are good and you never put their name in the AR, the 40 name list, right? And you also never ask them to register over here, they think that you are good. But there's no place for them to recognize you. So this will be the place that they can recognize you are good or UMP is good. Did I answer your question? Okay. Any more question? Okay. Which indicator is UMP aiming for? So what I would say that we aim for all. We aim for all. So right now, okay, what we want to do is actually a lot of people, they keep on mentioning ranking is a game. Ranking is a game. So that is how the gaming works. Okay, I I I agree partly. I agree partly on it. It's a game because there's an indicator. Just like racing, there's an indicator. You are good in this one, but you are not good in the other indicator. You might get lower rank. So in order to achieve yourself at a rank, you need to get all these indicator higher marks. So I would say that ranking is one of the tools for us to how to position the university direction, because all the example like if you look at the QS Asia ranking, so there are 11 indicators. If we can achieve all those 11 indicators, achieve very good marks, I believe that actually we are doing something is something good. So what we want to do is we still do our part. Still our part means that we still recruiting international students. We still publish paper. We still have inbound and outbound students. And we faculty staff student ratio we still manage on it. So in this case, if we manage everything of it, so all the indicators will go up. And go back to the survey. The survey is a part that actually we need a little bit of effort. We need a little bit of effort. So means that, like what I explained just now, your collaborator thinks that you are good. You need to give them a place so that they can recognize you. They can recognize you. We have a lot of collaboration with the Europe country, for example, like Germany. I believe that they think that we are good. Otherwise, they are not going to work with us. But maybe they couldn't receive the signal of this one. That's why they never vote for us. We couldn't receive a single vote from Germany yet. Yeah, that's a problem. Maybe they do not have the channel to know that, oh, that is a place that whereby they can recognize us. So of course, you have a lot of collaborators who think that you are good. So give them a place so that they can recognize you and recognize UMP. For the indicator, I would say that we focus for all. We never like target. We never target like, if we target only one or two, that's a playing games. That's a playing games already. Just like some university, they only focus on the academic reputation. They only focus on the academic reputation, whereby you can see that the rest of the indicator, they get no marks. But all the academic reputation, employer reputation, they get very high marks. Then they can rank ahead of us. So that is a playing games. But for us, I don't think we want to go into playing games. So that's why we focus on all the indicators rather than focus only one or two. Any more questions? Okay, it's okay. If you have some other question, you may ask Puan Zarina. Puan Zarina is one of our QS facultative. Actually, we are having meeting from time to time where we are communicating so that she can assist in the faculty in terms of the subject ranking and in terms of how to assist UMP in achieving the score in certain indicator. So if no, I think that's it for my sharing. So if you have any question, you may just pop up to my office in PHKK or can just give me a call or email me. I think me or my team, we are happy to help you guys. I think right now we are very close to the voting season. The academic survey, the survey season. So what I hope is if faculty, let's say film, pusat bahasa modern, and pusat sains kemanusiaan. So if these three faculties you are having some alumni, high T, so please let us know. So we want to only request a slot. If let's say you are very tight, we just 15 minutes is okay. We want to go in and we want to brief your alumni how they can assist in UMP. Of course, alumni, of course, all of them, they feel that UMP is good because they graduated from UMP. If UMP got rank, it's good for them as well. Example, like you say that you graduated from MIT, the kind of proud because it's top rank. So I believe that all the alumni, they also want to achieve that. So if no, I think I will end my sharing session here. Thank you very much.